Right, welcome to Jam Rock, camp where the thugs them camp at. 2 pound of weed in a van back. It in your handbag, your knapsack, it in your backpack. The smell of your girlfriend contacts. Damian Marley talks about the business behind his wildly successful Welcome to Jam Rock cruise. I've never been on this cruise, but from all the pictures and videos I've seen on this cruise, and the stellar lineup that this cruise always has, I've always said that this is definitely on my to-do list. So, being the son of the legendary reggae icon Bob Marley and the youngest of the clan, it's fitting that Damian Junior Gang Marley first establishes himself as a musician. That he has done. However, being known as a musician, being known for creating one of the most notable songs and albums in reggae music history, Welcome to Jam Rock, is just one part of his legacy, because outside of music, he is the founder and the brains behind the biggest musical theme cruise sailing the Caribbean Sea, the Welcome to Jam Rock Cruise. Welcome to Jam Rock Cruise is a 6-day, 5-night chartered cruise currently on the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line that sails to different hotspots in Jamaica while offering live musical acts from the country's genres. This includes over 30 artists, set from entertainers like the legendary Buju Banton, who electrically rocked the stage on December of 2019, WTJR, Welcome to Jam Rock Cruise, to young new powerhouses like Coffee and Skip Marley. From 5 a.m. Nyabingi sessions to midnight yoga, state-of-the-art sound clashes with the best reggae dancehall DJs, unlimited pool water park access, full out day party performances, and live shows. There's nothing like it sailing the 7 seas. And now, in its 6th year, we made to find out how the Wiz, Damian Marley himself, came up with the idea that every cruise ship is now saying, we want a part of this. Every cruise ship line is saying, we want a part of this. So, in an interview with Black Enterprise asks, so tell us about the beginning of this cruise thing, the genesis. But Damian Marley said, this is our 6th year. The idea came about by just throwing ideas back and forth between myself and my manager, Dan Dalton. This is not the first cruise in terms of a musical theme cruise though. You have other genres that have cruise like this still. They asked, so you were inspired by another genre? And he said, well, I can't necessarily say inspired by another genre, but we definitely thought it would be a great fit for reggae music. Having the culture and cruising goes hand in hand in terms of being a tropical experience. If you go to Jamaica or to the Bahamas or whatever island, this is the culture of the island that you are actually cruising to and visiting. That's the whole vibe of it all. They asked, when did you guys get in touch with Royal Caribbean? He said, initially, our first partner going out wasn't Royal Caribbean. We were in a partnership with some people called Flying Dutchmen, who they themselves, I believe, have 1 or 2 other music charter cruises that they do. So initially we had been speaking to a bunch of different people trying to find a partner to go into business with us. And a lot of people turned us down. A lot of people turned us down because of thinking that fans of reggae music would not have that disposable income or perhaps thinking that the genre wasn't that popular, or that people wouldn't pay so much money to come, or whatever they were thinking. They didn't want to take the chance. So we spoke to a few people. The trial got cold for a few months, and we would pick it up back, and eventually we found our first partner, who was Flying Dutchman. We did the first 2 cruises with them. What year was that, where the first 2 cruises were done? And Damien said that was in 2014, and the second one was in 2015. That partnership kind of ran its course, and of course, because of the business that we did in that partnership, other cruise lines such as Royal Caribbean now wanted to take a chance to do business with us. Let me pause and say this. I hope he made them pay out the wazoo that suddenly wanted to jump on board. But in a world of business, that is how it goes. Sometimes you have to prove that you're worth it, because people don't just throw their money around willy-nilly, especially when it comes to a certain kind. Anyways, Black Enterprise asked, has there been any other cruise lines involved besides Flying Dutchman and Royal Caribbean? Damien says Norwegian. So Flying Dutchman basically were the promoters, and they ended up chartering the cruise from Norwegian and made the partnership with us. Even in the case of this one, we still have a partnership with Rose Tours, and they charter us with Royal Caribbean. They went on to ask, so is it a situation where every year it's up in the air determining which cruise line you will partner with, or are you guys contracted to Royal Caribbean? And Damien said, no, well, what happens is that not a lot of the cruises, not a lot of the ship can accommodate the idea. You have other ships that can accommodate more people, but not all the passengers will be able to see the performance, all the shows at once. So because of that, we're kind of limited in certain ships. A part of coming to Royal Caribbean was because we outgrew the ship that Norwegian had that was suited before. We wanted to make it something bigger, so this was the next available ship as a setup. And rightfully so, if you've seen the pictures, you can see the whole 360 look. It is actually, I've seen pictures and videos from that ship, the Jamrock cruise, and I noticed that it actually looked like a stadium. So there's that circular vibe going on, and the tier level seating, and people are able from all angles to see the live performances that are offered on this cruise. So when he says it's about the ship, I understand perfectly well what he means. Many people believe that the Welcome to Jamrock cruise only plays reggae music, but it's not strictly reggae. There are dancehall artists on there too, correct? And he said, well, that's a matter of semantics. This is even something we are speaking of in an interview I did a few days ago, where it was distinguished that dancehall is a place. Whatever music that was played in that place is what you would refer to as dancehall music. And of course, nowadays, you can hear that music has evolved. For example, you know the type of beats that maybe a popcorn is on doesn't sound anything like the beat that my father may have been on, referring to Bob Marley. But it is still all reggae culture. So reggae still encompasses the world culture. Even though we say this is the Jamrock reggae cruise, that's not saying that this is reggae is just old sounding, old school reggae music or orthodox sounding reggae. It's reggae, meaning the full Jamaican cultural landscape at large. Reggae encompasses everything. This is only something that's been coming up recently in the last 15 years, where people are trying to make a difference between dancehall and reggae. That was never really a part of it before though. So I'm saying that the word reggae it's gone further, because even some people are saying that some of the music that is coming out now is not dancehall. It's trap dancehall, and it goes on. But what I'm saying is that what we stand for is Jamaican music culture, regardless of the subgenre. Now, that's a big argument to be held, because a lot of people are, including myself, have argued that, to me, dancehall is like the unruly child, and then reggae is the one that you can take to mom's house and daddy's house, and you know, everybody sits around the table and dine nicely. Dancehall is where everything just broke out, no manners, raw, uncut, and that is how I define one from the other. But listening to Damien Jr. Gang Marley, and knowing he comes from the gang bloodline, he has a point. He has a point. So let me ask this question before I go any further to you. Is there a difference between reggae and dancehall in your mind? Talk up. Alright, so Black Enterprise asked him, so being able to bring your culture to America and partner with these huge entities, it was only a vision at one point. Now that it has happened, what does it mean for the Jamaican music culture? And he said, this, I can say, is an example to show that our genre of music is worth the investment. That's what it means. Us doing this, a great example for anyone who is wondering whether or not reggae can fill a venue, or anyone who's wondering if reggae has mass appeal. This is an example that says, yes, we do. Yes. Black Enterprise went on to ask, can you talk about the marketing strategy that was used to make this a success? And Damien said, well, the marketing strategy is a funny thing, you know. Really, what happened was that the first few years of the cruise, we did some announcements on social media. It took off a life of its own. So all of the marketing strategies that we had, we never implemented any of them. Right now, it has become a culture on its own, where I don't necessarily have to post anything about the cruise on my social media anymore, because its own social media has taken on a life of its own. So it's all really organic, to tell you the truth. And yes, there are people far and wide now that book every year religiously for this cruise. And if they don't make it every year religiously, believe me, it's on a lot of people's list to make sure that if they miss one, they have to make the next one. The Welcome to Jamrock cruise is very, 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 very well known and very well sought out at this point. Black Enterprise asked them, when did you guys form the Jamrock Entertainment team for the cruise? And he said, it was based on the fact that we had the idea to do the cruise, and we were feeding off of Welcome to Jamrock. Welcome to Jamrock, people, the album and the single. So Welcome to Jamrock is the name of one of my albums. And based upon that, the Welcome to Jamrock team, in terms of the production unit that put this cruise on, that was formed directly for the cruise. It just became the name. So it all happened at the same time. And if you don't know that song, Welcome to Jamrock, huge. Black Enterprise said, did you ever expect it to make it to the 6th year? And Damien said, yes, absolutely. We expected to do the work. We're just very thankful that it worked out exactly how we would have hoped, and even better. But definitely, we always wanted this to be something that would be long-term, and we're hoping for many, many more years of this to come. Yes, and we are hoping for many more years of it to come as well, because it will give all of us a chance to, at one point, be able to actually experience this. And I've heard that it is something to truly experience. The last question they asked was, it's going to keep getting bigger and better, so what are you going to do? Soon you're going to have to build your own ship. And Damien said, well, yeah, maybe. we have to put some ideas and thoughts behind what we're going to do about that. And he's talking about as it grows, as it gets bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying? And us here, this article, the interview was conducted in mid-December of 2019. And it was the Welcome to Jamrock cruise team says the 2020 cruise is still slated to launch, but had to decline to give any further information about the next voyage. We would like to say that this is definitely on our list to do, and I would definitely love to have like meet and greet and we plan ahead. Imagine if we could plan ahead and have at least like 1,000 SouFLoTV audience members link up on the Jamrock cruise. And then we could have a real big celebration and them kind of thing there, don't it? All right, leave your comments in the comment section below. Do you know about the Welcome to Jamrock cruise? Are you planning on getting on the Welcome to Jamrock cruise at any time? And I don't have to ask you, this is a good look for Jamaica, for Jamaican culture, reggae culture, you know what I'm saying? Our culture. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Peace.